is there anything better when two wonderful names in sport come together and partner up? Well, that's the way it's been for Gai Waterhouse and Arrowfield Stud for 3 decades. Just an extraordinary relationship with Gai and her team, and of course John Massara and those at Arrowfield. I wandered up the highway, which I love doing, up to Scone to Arrowfield, to catch up with Gai. So Gai, what a wonderful association with Arrowfield. Tell us about it. Just fantastic.
It's been over 3 decades, and of course before that with my father, T.J. Smith. Arrowfield's got a remarkable ability to breed very strong and very talented horses. And when I say that, it's a consistency that over the years of buying from the stud, I found that I've not got a good horse, I've got a champion. And they're hard to find at any time in your career, but to say over 3 decades of training, and then before that with Dad, just consistently buying and being able to secure from Arrowfield this quality horse.
Right up to this very moment, because Autumn Ballet for the Percy Sykes next week. What a wonderful win in the Black Opal.
Well, Tim, quite interesting that she was the first horse ever to win it as a maiden. And Adrian and I had discussed beforehand about sending her to the race, and we felt that she was up to it. But it was the way, that lovely turn of foot she showed, and just, you know, left her stablemate, who's a very talented horse and a last start winner, in her wake.
Where can she go, do you think?
Could go anywhere, but she's going to the Percy Sykes immediately, and that's a lovely race named after a great friend and a most talented veterinarian, Percy Sykes, Dr. Percy Sykes, who of course had a great association with John Massara and of course Arrowfield Stud. After that she'll probably be spelled and come back for as a 3-year-old, and that's really when she'll come into her own, because just with her breeding and that, you'd expect that she'll get better as she gets older.
This T.J. Smith's a fantastic race, and you must be very proud of it in your father's name.
Yes, very much so. I think they should call every race after TJ, because he was the one only.
and with horses like Giga Kick and Nature Strip, I mean, this is going to be an amazing first day of the championships.
Oh, very much so. I mean, Giga Kick itself, you know, what a lovely way to see when he won that, you know, last year was so amazing, you know, when he won the Everest. He was just so devastating, and he's by a stallion that no longer stands in Australia, but he was a very handy horse, and now he's thrown an exceptionally talented young horse.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's wind the clock back. Let's look back at some of the...
Don't wind it back too
I won't go
far,
too... my memory's it's not that flash. But I will go back to a time where you will remember very well. Nothing Like a Dane was foaled here the same time you took over at Tulloch Lodge in the early 90s. And what a horse he was. And what a year that was.
It was fantastic. It was so funny with Nothing Like a Dane, because Dad had left the sales, the Magic Million sales, and gone back to the apartment where he was resting. And I came back and I said, Dad, I've seen a horse I've got to buy. I said, he's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise?
So I said, I'll never forget.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. He just excited me from the moment I saw him, and he never let us down. And he was just amazing, because he won the Derby, but then he ran second in the Cup, and it took a very good horse to knock him out that year. And he's just so good. You know, everyone expected, I think it was Longrow, wasn't it, to win the Derby, and he just waved the tail, and he was waving them. You watch his tail; it goes like that.
Yeah, and foaled out here we are at beautiful Arrowfield. I love coming up here, not only for the food, but just the environment. And
Tim, you put the horses first and your tummy after.
I've been trying to work that out over time. I'm almost getting there. What about Pharaoh?
Pharaoh?
How do you reflect on Pharaoh?
Doncaster winner. Pharaoh came to us second hand. He was bred at Arrowfield, and he was bought by Bart Cummings, and then there was a Night of the Stars, which was a fire sale, and those horses of Bart's were resold, and we were able to purchase him for a lot less than he'd been originally sold for. And he was an amazing horse, because he was very talented, but he broke down, and my father, who had a share in him, sold out. And the other partner, Peter Kampfner, and Leighton Smith, the radio gentleman from New Zealand, said, Gai, would you mind keep training the horse? And I said, I'd love to. And I thought, if I've got a problem here, I've got a horse that's broken down, how am I going to get him to the Doncaster? And we're looking like 9 months ahead. Anyway, I said to the owners, I'm going to swim him to Auckland and back. And he did most of his training at Botany Bay. And when he won the Doncaster, and then he won the first Doncaster with Dad in him, the second without Dad in him, Dad said, I know my man sold that horse. He said, you know, only you could get him to the post, which I was very touched when Dad said that.